What's up, everybody? I'm Sal Kalani. This is Reggie Steele. And welcome to Spitballin. Spitballin.
What's up, everybody? I'm Sal Kalani. This is Reggie Steele.
And welcome to Spitballin.
Boom, boom. What up? What up? Like my background, Reggie? I took that picture too. Look at that.
Yeah, I like that one. That's good.
That's a
It's
good one.
I feel like it's fitting considering the LA sky was ablaze recently. I guess it still is, right?
It's a sunset, Reg. It's not supposed to be fire
No,
back
I know,
there.
but what I'm saying is the colors. The colors can
Colors
definitely,
pink and purple and blue.
yeah.
Reggie's going off. He's upset about Trump already. It's too early, Reg. It's too. We can't do this every week. Every
Hey,
week we're
dude.
gonna have to deal with this.
Hey, dude. This dude. Look, this is the only way that
We
we're
all
gonna.
knew he was garbage.
I know, but this is the only way that we're going to be able to withstand this. And we got to, because if we act like it does, to withstand this nonsense and to push back against it, because if we act like it doesn't exist or detach, then they will legitimately just go in there and do whatever hell they want to. So we have to
Right.
inform people
Right,
like
right,
what's actually happening. I posted a thing yesterday about this guy decided that the federal government will no longer recognize Black History Month, Divert Pride Month, um, Holocaust Remembrance Times, and a slew of other.
And
uh,
why? Why is it so bad to have that included?
exactly. And that's the point that I want people to realize. It's like they're telling you one thing, we're going to fix immigration, which hasn't bothered anybody. Let's be honest. They're talking about they're taking your jobs. Whose jobs? They're taking all the jobs that don't nobody want to do. They're putting money into the system that they're never going to see, right? So how are they impacting you on a daily basis? Because you go down to Home Depot and there's a bunch of people standing outside that you can hire for pennies on the dollar to come and do your work, to do shit you don't want to do, right? So it's all a distraction, right? They make you believe that something's wrong. This is out of control. We have to fix this thing. Steadily, while they're telling you about some bullshit behind your back, they're over here getting rid of people, firing people based on race and diversity. That's exactly what they're doing. They make, let me put this out here right now. The idea that they make the word diversity, equity and equality, inclusivity, right? Um, being woke just means that you're intelligent and well informed. So, or higher education. The fact that they make all these words bad words.
Yeah.
Oh, think about that. Take a moment and think. Because while they're telling you to not get a higher education because you don't need it, they're the same ones sending their kids to higher educational institutions. They're sending them to the best. They're trying to send them to Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Johns Hopkins. They're trying to send Stanford. They're steadily sending their kids to school while they're telling you to stay your dumb ass at home because you don't need an education. And then they say, well, we don't need diversity, equity, and inclusion anymore because we're past that point. Now it's all merit based, right? But then your kids don't go to school, they don't get an education. So when it's time to get those merit based jobs, they don't have the qualifications. Come on,
Right.
man. Think outside the
It
box.
is crazy too that like a helicopter crashes and all of a sudden they're blaming diversity.
Oh
It's
my
so fucked
God.
up. It's like saying only white people are smart enough to run the planes and the military and all this
Dude,
bullshit.
that's exactly what he's saying. That is exactly what he's saying. He's like, I know that they're, he's like, well, how do you know? He's like, because I have common sense. A lot of people don't have common sense. Shut your dumb ass up. Look, this is what they're doing. The whole idea of trying to get rid of, I don't even want to say DEI because that's a sentence, like it's an acronym for like a bad word now. People hear DEI and they go, ugh, well, they don't even know what it means. So I'm gonna say what it is. The fact that they're trying to turn diversity, equity, and inclusion and trying to like take that and make it a bad word
And
and
it's not
turn
just
it
race too,
into
like disabled people too. They're like,
disabled.
oh,
You know
yeah,
who?
you're not
Hold
as
on.
smart as us.
Well, just for the record, let me just go ahead and go back to this real quick. For those of you who don't know, the people who are being displaced the most from diversity, equity, and inclusion have been white women.
Right,
White
right,
women,
right.
right? Because women, believe it or not, you're part of diversity because they're only thinking about straight white males. So when they're giving jobs to white women, That's all. You're included in the DEI, the diversity, equity, and inclusion. So take a moment and absorb that. Think about that. Your white skin doesn't separate you. Your womanhood does. I mean, your white
Right.
skin doesn't include you. Your gender is what separates you. So you're included in the diversity and equity and inclusion. That's who's being displaced the most because they got more jobs than hell. Black people only make up 12% of the population, right? So
Well, I saw this thing this week, which is ridiculous. They're talking about the NCAA and the transgender athletes, and like, there's 510,000 athletes in
yep.
college, and eight of them are transgender.
Let's put it up there. Here, let's do it this way so people can see eight. Eight.
Why is this such an issue?
What exactly?
Because it freaks people out, and then they scare people, and then they get them to vote against their own rights. You know what I mean? It's really crazy.
Dude, they take everything, they blow it up. So let's repeat that. In the NCAA, for those of you can if you can do math, in
Yeah, I
the
got a
NCAA,
calculator.
there are 500,000
Yeah, 510,000.
510,000 athletes. That's over a half a million athletes. And of those, eight, one, two, three, I can count to eight. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight are transgendered athletes.
That's 0.00001%.
You hear that? That's the percentage. And if you don't, and if you don't, if you're having a hard time, if you're having a hard time trying to figure out how many 510,000 is, I want you to count to eight, right? Start now, count to eight, and then when you're done, then I want you to count to 510,000 and see what the difference is, right? So, um,
Oh,
so yeah, man, it's what they're gonna say was what they're doing is by getting rid of all this diversity, they're basically saying and then trying to blame it on diversity is what they're saying is that anyone who's not a straight white male isn't mentally capable of doing anything. If you're a brown person, black person, Asian, or a woman, then you lack the capacity and the ability to do your job effectively simply based on your race and your gender.
mm.
That's what they're saying.
That's like from 200 years ago thought.
Man, that's from what you talking about 200 years ago. That's from the 1950s, dog. That's from the 1960s when they had the Jim Crow laws. And just for those of you who don't know what Jim Crow is, Jim Crow laws are when they had whites only and colored only, which is some bullshit. Colored? The fuck out of here. What does that mean? That's what that is. Jim Crow shit is like, you're not good enough to sit at this table. You're not good enough to go through the front door. You're not good enough to use our bathrooms. You're not even good enough to drink from the same water fountain as us, but we're going to put ours right next to you. And the water that comes up, it comes up one pipe and then we separate into two.
Right,
So
right.
it's the exact same water, but you touch the handle on that one and you can't touch the handle on this one. But it's the
It's
same
so
fucking water.
bad. It's
It's
so
so
sad.
dumb. It's so
So
dumb.
I don't know what it is, but I think now that Trump is president, he has way more access to that orange makeup he puts on because look at this. This is just it's crazy to be the
Oh my God.
orangeness of his face, dude.
Dude,
It's so orange.
it's so orange and it seems like he can't fill in all the spots, right? Like he looks like a reverse raccoon, right?
Right.
Instead of
I felt like he kind of looks like it's got like two blonde caterpillars crawling on a tangerine.
that's funny. Dude, I mean, this guy just the sight of him kind of turns my stomach, man. You can
Oh,
take it
it's
down.
yeah, no, okay, yeah. It looks like something that when you're sick for food poisoning and then you had to go to the bathroom.
Dude,
That's what you drop.
it looks like something the cat threw up. Let's just throw it. And you got cats, so
That's
you know
yeah,
that.
no, and it's pretty accurate, dude. A fur
Yeah.
ball and then with a little orange mucus in there with it.
Yeah, man. It looks like something the cat threw up. But you know what's funny to me, man, is that the person that writes all his speeches and everything is a guy named Stephen Miller, who's based out
Oh,
of Los
he's
Angeles.
terrible. Yeah, he's
Stephen
a
Miller is
young,
diabolical.
yeah, he's a young bald racist.
But you know what's funny about him? This is the funny thing, is that, and he's walking in the same footsteps as a predecessor, as his predecessor. Dude, bless you. He's of Jewish descent, bro. You know that. Stephen Miller
Really?
is of Jewish descent. And he is legitimately referring to the Nazi playbook. Like all the words, all the phrases that Trump is using now, the immigrants are coming in, they're spoiling the blood of our nation or whatever,
Yeah.
tainting the blood of our nation. That's a direct quote from Mein Kampf,
Mm.
from Hitler. He said that about the Jews, that they're poisoning the blood of our nation,
Yeah.
right? Poisoning the blood. Those are so this dude Stephen Miller is legitimately just taking straight from Mein Kampf and from Hitler. It's
Mm.
crazy to me. Also, the other thing that Hitler did was, in order to gather the masses, he had to blame everyone's problem on a minority group of people. The Jews were so small, like it was very few of them. And yeah, they were doing well in Germany. So now it's like, that guy is not like you and he's doing well. He's why you're not doing well.
Right. Right.
Right. And hold, let's take it a step further. This whole idea now of taking, immigrants, illegal immigrants, and putting them in Guantanamo Bay. I listened to a thing last night that the whole thing about that is, the reasoning for that is this. They're posturing to say, because Guantanamo Bay was built to house terrorists, people who were a threat to the country. Now, if you're putting immigrants in Guantanamo Bay, the dialogue or the message it's sending is that these people are a threat to our nation. They're putting immigrants
Yeah.
in the same category as
Yeah.
terrorists,
Right.
right? So so what I'm saying is, so for the people, if you hear this, you got it. This is where critical thinking skills come into play, because you go, how is it that a person who came here to escape probably persecution or war or cartels or a horrible life, right? Or come here to have some freedoms and freedom of choice and ability to live and work and have fresh air and clean water. How are they a threat to our democracy? How are they a threat to our country? When the person at the top right now is making decisions that are absolutely a threat to our democracy, 100%.
Right.
He's literally trying to dismantle the government. So yeah, this dude is a POS.
So there's our weekly Trump update.
Okay, there we go.
There's yeah, dude, no, it's pretty blatant and
Yeah. Oh, that's the other one. Can I just say this too? When you say
oh,
blatant, dude, right now, they legitimately, they are, they're like the fox in the chicken coop, right? But instead of it just being one fox, it's like 10 foxes.
this fucking cat. I had to
It's like
get
10 of
up.
them. And they're
He
just,
was,
they keep the cat. People love the cat.
he was like
Um,
ripping up.
but no, dude, they're really,
The problem is when I went out of town, I come back and these fuckers ripped up. They put a hole in my comforter. And once there's a hole,
of
they
course,
keep playing with that hole. And then he was just up on the bed trying to mess with it some more. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? And then there's a mirror and near the bed, and he likes to look at himself in the mirror and pretend to attack himself. Like he does, like he forgets it's a mirror. You're a
that's
freaking
funny.
crazy son of a bitch. Ah! All right. Anyway, I
Okay.
just threw him
Well,
behind me.
what I'm saying is that they've gotten back into office and they are legitimately like, everything that we didn't do last time, we're doing this time.
Oh yeah, and
Everything
then
that we couldn't get accomplished.
he's got more
Yeah.
experience now, so he knows like what you need to
Yeah.
do to avoid the
And
pushback and what to get away
well,
with.
well, that's why he's trying to put all his little lackeys and loyalists in every position.
Yeah, so then there's no
Um,
problems.
so then there's no pushback, and then there's no one to say, this is when it's over. This guy he was dumb, right? He didn't read the updates, and he didn't read the daily reports about what's happening in the country. Like, yeah, it's
It's
whatever,
not
man.
good. It's not
It's
good.
not good.
Um,
So,
I had this little clip I was gonna show you. Well, stabbing happened in my neighborhood, Reggie.
oh, good thing you
Uh,
got those bars up.
dude, it's not even far. Like I go and I'll take the train, to go do shit. And yeah, this is one of the stops along the route.
Oh
And
wow.
this is crazy. And
Yo,
here,
let
I'll
me just
show
yeah, let
you
me say I'm
video.
sorry to hear that, man. Be safe out there, because that's scary.
Okay, so here we go.
Man stabs woman. Oh wait, what? How far is
Yeah,
this from you?
not far, bro.
So
Like
what am I looking
it's my
at?
name. This is East Hollywood. Okay,
Okay.
so there's a couple people. There's this old lady right here, and she's
Okay.
gonna get stabbed by this guy.
Has released
Watch.
this shocking video of a stabbing in hopes that someone will recognize the
That guy?
suspect. It happened 2 Saturdays ago, January 18th, around noon, in the area of Santa Monica Boulevard and Edgemont Street. That's in East Hollywood. You can see a woman walking with two other people when a man approached her from
Oh, dude,
behind
you gotta
and
turn that
stabbed her
off. You gotta
twice.
stop. I can't
Has
watch it.
released the
No, stop it, stop it, stop it.
That was it.
Dude, that's too graphic. That's too graphic. Yo, we gotta put a warning up because that shit is disturbing, bro.
Well, no life-threatening injuries. She's doing okay. And the guy is still out there. And yeah, dude. And like
Dude, that was a butcher knife, bro.
I don't know, he just came up from, so for those who can't watch, he just came up from behind. The woman was just walking Saturday at noon, just walked behind and stabbed her twice on like the top of the shoulder, and then just kept walking. And yeah, they still don't know who it is. She's okay, but like it's and I've been on the whenever I go to the trains now, there's like at least three. I guess they're cops because they're armed and they
Okay.
have their little vests. And ever since that guy got pushed in New York onto the subway, it seems like they're more police protection of the subways. However,
Yeah.
whenever I see the guys, they're usually three of them and they're all together at one end of the platform looking at their phones. So I don't know how effective
Sal,
it is.
Sal's about to get somebody fired.
All I know is there was a crazy dude at one end of the platform, and then I look at the other end, and there's the three security guys, and they're all on their phones. Shit, well, what the
Well,
fuck?
okay, just for the record, just for the record, as a guy who has spent 3 decades now of watching people, right? That's been my job of watching people. There is you do let me see how you do cultivate the skill of being able to discern different levels of crazy, right?
Mm.
Like there's some people that come on and you go, all right, I gotta watch this person. They seem crazy, and then you watch them a little while and you go, okay, they just a little unstable, but they're not gonna push nobody. They're not gonna jump over. They're just gonna kind of walk around and talk to themselves and take the pictures. But then there's another level of crazy, which usually involves alcohol.
See, I feel too, though, this level of crazy is what is the difference between SF and LA. Because in SF, there would be a lot of crazies, but down here, there's crazies, but there's like an edge of danger to it.
Okay,
And
I'll accept that. I mean, LA
yeah,
is. I mean, think about it. San Francisco is only 800,000 people. Los Angeles
right,
is 3 point something
right,
million people,
right,
something crazy.
right,
So within that range of crazy, yeah, you got the whole spectrum of crazy, right?
right,
Up here, we're gonna have a lot of crazy people who just kind of walk around talking to themselves and doing whatever, but they're not really doing. They ain't messing with nobody, right?
right, right. Where
They're
here, they
disruptive.
want to mess with you here. Like here,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know what it is, man, but there's a danger.
Okay.
And
So keep your
yeah,
head on a
man.
swivel.
No, you definitely have to keep your head on a swivel. Like I went through. There's this little alley, and it's kind of like dark, but it's a shortcut, and I like cut through it usually. And then one day I cut through, and there's a shady looking dude at the end of it, and just walking around, nothing going nowhere, just walking in a cul-de-sac, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go the other way for now on, because and it was like totally dark the one time too, and then your mind start. I'm like, fuck this. There's no one around. You're gonna be in the middle of nowhere. I don't care, you know.
Hey man,
Fuck all
you
this.
did the right thing. Okay. Like it reminds me of that Patrice O'Neal joke, right? He goes, hey man, if you walking down the street and somebody look crazy, cross the street, right? Go the other way. Right? Like stay alive. Right. He's like,
Right, right,
right.
right,
He's like, you don't want to be, what does he say? He said, you don't want to be non, non-prejudiced or racist and dead. He's like, no, I'd much rather be prejudiced and racist and alive. Right.
right.
He's like, if I'm in let's say Kentucky, he goes, if I'm in Kentucky and I see five big bald-headed white guys walking toward me, I'm not gonna think, oh, they just came from, chemotherapy class. Right. He's like, no, I'm across the street. Right? Like I'm not gonna take my chances. I'm across the street. So
Yeah, there was I remember Edwin Lee, a young Chinese comic we knew. He one time he got robbed by a couple black kids in his neighborhood in San Francisco. Like he was down south there, like 30th and Mission is where he lived.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
and then one time he was walking home again, like a few weeks later, and there's a different group of guys, and he just crossed the street.
Yep.
He's like, I don't care if
Yep.
I look racist. I gotta fucking not get beat
Well,
up.
and see, in that case, that's not even based on racism, right? That's strictly based on experience. It's like, look, I walked down the street one time and I saw four dudes and I thought it was fine and I got robbed. Now I'm walking down the same street, I see four dudes. I mean, what's the saying? Rob me once, shame on you. Rob me twice,
Fool
shame
me,
on
but
me.
yeah.
Right? Unless you're George Bush Jr. and you can't admit being wrong, right? So then you say, rob me once, shame on you. Rob me twice,
That's a shame too.
can't be robbed again.
Right. Like you would always fuck up. Like that was the big thing back in like his messed up quotes was the worst thing. And now it's just pure tomfoolery, bro. It's insane. All right. It looks like you froze, Reg. What happened over there? You on the
You froze
latest?
too. Yeah.
That's
What
weird.
he said initially was, he said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. He wasn't gonna say shame on me. He was gonna
Nah.
say, right, he can't say that. He's like,
Yeah.
so fool me twice, can't be fooled again.
Like he painted himself in the corner. He's like, oh,
Yeah,
what do
exactly.
I do? What do I
So
do?
rob me once, shame on you. Rob me twice, can't be robbed again.
So stupid, dude. We're such so I don't know when these dummies get elected.
It's ego, man. I mean, if you're the president, you can't listen. If you're the president of the United States, the president of the free world, and considered to be one of the most powerful men in the world, there's no way you stand on the platform and say, "Do something to me once, shame on you," and then do it again, shame on me. No, they will never they will never let go of the idea that they are not in position of power,
I have
right?
common sense. That's all I
Yes.
know. I have common sense.
So here it is right here. It said, rob me once, shame on you. Rob me twice, gotta kill you. Right? Like it's got my gun this time. Got my gun. Can't be robbed again. Got my gun this time. Welcome to America.
So ridiculous.
Mm. What's
All
up?
right. So we were talking football last week, Reg, and I was right who I thought would eventually win, even though I rooted against both of those teams. I figured if Chiefs and Eagles are probably going to be what happened, and that's exactly what happened. And Josh Allen, he just can't beat Patrick Mahomes, man. It's
Hey man, Pat Mahomes, he has a lot of weapons around him, man. He utilizes all his weapons and they come. Now look, I know everyone gives all the credit to the quarterback. And obviously he's the leader on the field, he's calling the plays, he's throwing the ball, he's handing it off. But there's still something that has to be said about the people who run the routes and catch the ball, the people who he handed off to and that get extra yards after the first hit.
I
You know
mean,
what
he's
who
awesome
block
too
effectively.
because he lost the fastest receiver in the game in Tyreek Hill, and he still won 2 more Super Bowls. And
And
now he's
that's
about to win a third.
well, hold up. Let's slow down. Slow down.
I'm rooting for the three-peat. I'm rooting for
Okay.
it. It's never been done.
It's never been
I
done.
didn't want either of these teams.
Okay.
Eagles fans are usually assholes, but like we just had this. They just won. I mean, yes, they both have just won. Whatever. I'm fine with it. I don't care. I was glad when the Eagles
Okay.
beat the Patriots because I was sick of the Patriots. But now I'm kind of like three-peat. Hey, let's see if Mahomes can do it.
Okay. So I got a cool story for the three-peat. I got two things. One, I appreciate you being excited about the three-peat and witnessing history because it's never been done. I think that's super cool. And I normally root for those things, right?
Oh wow,
I
Reggie.
do. I do. You know me.
I know we're like opposites this
Well, no,
time.
it's not so much that we're opposites, but like because if I play like this, I can go either way. If the Chiefs win, then we get to witness history of seeing a three-peat, which is phenomenal. That puts Pat Mahomes in a category all to himself, right? He's already on the verge of being the next Tom Brady, and if not surpassing Tom Brady, because he's younger and he's doing stuff, right? But the other side of it is this. The Chiefs beat the Eagles, 3 years ago now, or 2 years ago, right? So and the Eagles played well the first half. Like it was a good game. Second half, they shit the bed. It was a wrap. So what I'm saying is Chiefs beat the Eagles. So they're up 1-0. Now we got the Chiefs and the Eagles. If the Eagles can pull off the upset, right? Pull off the upset and knock off the Chiefs. All of a sudden, now Chiefs got one win, and the Eagles got one win, and the Chiefs got one win. So now we're 1-1. Now we've created a rivalry, and I'm like, yo, let's bring it back and get the tiebreaker. Who
Now you
goes?
just want the same Super Bowl in the next year too? Come on,
Yeah,
man. It's
yes,
ridiculous.
yes. And I want
No.
Jalen Hurts. I want Jalen Hurts to get a ring, bro. I like
Nah.
Jalen Hurts.
Well, you know what I
Jalen
like?
Hurts.
Well, Saquon Barkley is who
Oh, I
I
like
like.
Saquon
And
too.
Saquon is, I think Saquon should be the MVP of the NFL. And if you can't be the MVP of the NFL when you're damn near broke Eric Dickerson's record, he chose not to go in the last game.
Mm,
He is a reason this team is now in the Super Bowl.
that's
If
very Barry
if
Sanders of
he
him.
can't win MVP, then no running back will ever win MVP.
I mean,
It's only made for quarterbacks, it seems, anyway, in this league.
Can you name any running backs who've won MVP?
That's a very good question. I'll have to look it up. I mean, there's been a few defensive guys who've won,
Okay.
I think, but I don't. I'm going to look up the list of the NFL MVP, but I think it's almost always quarterbacks.
A quarterback. Okay, so let me share this with you. Talk about a three-peat. I watched something yesterday. I learned yesterday that the word three-peat was actually created by Byron Scott of the Los Angeles Lakers. Right?
3P was?
3P was created by Byron Scott
during the Lakers game?
during the Lakers run. 3P was created by Byron Scott.
What about when?
Hold
No,
up.
that's not true.
No, listen. Byron Scott created 3P. Pat Riley thought the word was cool. Pat Riley took the word and went and trademarked it and trademarked all the different variations of 3P.
You talking about this during the 80s?
During the 80s.
Oh,
And
okay,
so now every
okay.
time the term 3P is used or printed on something, Pat Riley gets paid. They said based on if the Chiefs win and the merchandise that will be created and printed with the word 3P on it, Pat Riley stands to make somewhere between he gets 5% of gross revenue from using that word. So he could make anywhere between $40 and $50 million.
Wow.
For that word. Now, mind you, Byron Scott made up the word. Pat Riley trademarked it.
It's all
Right?
that's crazy.
So that's an example. That's another example of white people taking something that black people created and monetizing it. Right? Now Byron Scott, obviously, he wasn't thinking about it like that.
He's DEI. They don't think like the whites.
Exactly. He's just saying something, and then Pat Riley's like, "Yo, that's a cool word. I'm gonna trademark that."
And there was no 3P until the Bulls.
Exactly. So the Lakers never did 3-peat
until Shaq.
Yes, Phil Jackson's the only coach to have
two of them, three of them. Three, because he did it twice with the Bulls.
Yeah, he's the only coach to be a part of 2 3-peats, 3 3-peats, but with 2 different teams.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's crazy.
I got the list of the MVPs here. Since 2001,
okay,
there's been 3 running backs MVP. Everyone else has been a quarterback.
Oh wait, hold on. So 2001. Let me guess. Did Al Gore get it?
Al Gore? No, he was vice president.
Not Al Gore. What's the running back for the
Frank
49ers?
Gore? No,
Frank Gore.
dude.
Okay,
Frank
no, not
Gore
Frank
didn't
Gore.
get it.
Okay. I want to say Walter Payton was done by then.
Yeah, dude.
So Emmett Smith.
No, he was done by then too.
Oh, really? Since 2001? So we go back 24 years and those
So
guys.
2000 was Marshall Faulk of the Rams.
Marshall Faulk. Okay.
And then there was 3 running backs since then. So here, I'll just go through it real quick. So it's Marshall Faulk. Then it went Kurt Warner for the Rams, Rich Gannon for the Raiders, Steve McNair for the Titans, Peyton Manning, Colts, 04 Peyton Manning. Now 05 was Sean Alexander. He was a running back for the Seattle Seahawks. They went to the Super Bowl that year and lost to the Steelers, I believe.
Okay.
And then
Marshawn Lynch. Oh, go ahead.
No, Marshawn never made it
Marshawn. Oh, wow.
And then the following year after Sean Alexander, it was LaDainian Tomlinson, who had an amazing season. And then that was it. Then it was Brady, Manning, Brady, Aaron Rodgers. And then 2012 was the last running back. You want to take a guess?
Jeez. 2012. It wasn't Al Gore, Vice President Al Gore.
It was
Okay, hold on. Let me
it
guess.
was
Let me guess.
JD Vance. No.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say. Running back 2012. Shit, I wouldn't be able to guess that if you
And
gave
like Saquon, this
yeah.
man also broke 2,000 yards, which has only been done a few times. It was like Saquon, Barry Sanders, OJ Simpson, and Eric
Okay.
Dickerson. And then this guy, Adrian Peterson.
Okay, so that's who won it.
Yeah, Adrian Peterson won in 2012. And that was the year he almost broke Dickerson's record. So, you're going to give it to Peterson, who his team didn't make the Super Bowl that year. And if you're not giving it to Saquon, you're not giving it to anybody. It's just not.
But see,
It's not right.
Okay,
And
so
then since him, it was Manning, Rodgers, Cam Newton, Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson.
okay. So what I will say is I heard the talking heads talking about the two people that they think were going to get MVP, and that was two quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, I
And
think
Josh Allen.
and
Yeah,
Josh
those are the
Allen.
two. Yeah.
And so
Which,
and they were saying that based on the numbers that they're putting up, they create this narrative where they're like, people are just sick of voting for Lamar Jackson. It's time for someone else. Hey man, but Lamar Jackson's numbers are better this year than they were last year when he won MVP, right? And Josh Allen's numbers are better than maybe Lamar Jackson's
yeah,
numbers
but
last
I'll
year.
say this,
Lamar
man.
Jackson, okay.
Lamar Jackson couldn't beat Josh Allen. Josh Allen couldn't beat Patrick Mahomes. Saquon Barkley, he's in the Super Bowl. So, you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah,
know that's
but
not supposed to matter, but
exactly.
it does matter. If
No,
you're
it
not
does,
going to bring your guy to the fucking Super Bowl, how
dude.
valuable of a player are you?
No, but this is a regular season
Yeah,
award.
well, that shit's stupid too.
Okay.
It's
It's a regular
it
season
has an
award.
effect, dude. It has an effect. Like if you're not gonna win, what's the point? You put up all these stats and your team loses. Nobody wants to hear that.
I'm just saying, man. Look, it's a regular season award. The guy balls out in the regular season, and then in the playoffs. Then look, he still plays well
I
in the
mean,
playoffs.
Saquon
Look,
balled out.
yeah,
He got over
okay,
2,000 yards.
okay, all right. Well, I mean, yeah, we'll see. I
I'm
mean,
just saying,
I'm
if a
not
running
arguing.
back, if he ain't getting it this year, no running back should ever get. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay.
Like Adrian Peters did it when he broke 2,000. It's just ridiculous. Let me see. Was it anyone other than an offensive guy? Then let's see. Who's won it? Quarterback. Terrell Davis won in 98. Barry Sanders in 97.
Okay.
Brett Favre 3 in a row. Steve Young. Emmitt Smith won in 93. Thurman Thomas 91. Wow, Boomer Esiason won in 88. Oh,
Oh
Lawrence
yeah.
Taylor was the last defensive guy to win MVP. And
Wow.
that was in 1986.
Wow. Lawrence Taylor. Some people are saying that Lawrence Taylor arguably may be the greatest football player.
Yeah, everybody says that. He's
Yeah.
amazing. This is crazy, bro.
Oh, hold on, though. Hold on. Let me say this though. Let me say this. Keep that in mind. People say that Lawrence Taylor may arguably be the greatest football player of all time. And you listen to Lawrence Taylor in all these interviews, and he goes, every game I played, I was high on cocaine.
He was fucked up. Yeah,
He
he
was
did.
fun. So just imagine if he wasn't high, what he would have been.
There was
Right?
I had who did I work with? Rappaport had a joke. His closer was about that, how Lawrence Taylor was fucked up before everything. And he's like, nobody can compete with Lawrence Taylor. He's the best ever.
Yeah.
Listen to this. This is crazy. Only one time ever in 1982, a kicker won MVP.
Wow. He must have made every kick and won the
Mark
Super Bowl.
Mosley. I don't even know who that is. Mark Mosley in 1982 of the Washington Redskins at the time.
Dude, that's a trivia question, bro.
Well, no one's gonna know it.
No one's gonna know it. Well, maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't ask his name. Maybe you just ask what's the most obscure NFL MVP award, like
What
obscure.
position,
What
maybe?
position? Yeah, what position is the most obscure position that's won a Super Bowl MVP? I mean, won a regular season MVP in the NFL.
Oh, the strike. It was a strike shortened season. He converted 23 straight field goals. Well, that's pretty impressive. A record
Yeah.
at the time. Made a league leading 20 of 21 field goals, a 95% success rate. First place kicker to ever win the most valuable player. That is
Wow.
crazy, dude.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow.
Oh, he was in the Super Bowl. Wait, no, but in the Washington victory in Super Bowl set 15, 17 over the Dolphins, he kicked 2 field goals, was successful, all three. Okay, how about that though? Wow. So who you root for, Reg? You got to pick one or the other.
All
You
right.
root for
Who am
Jalen Hurts or you
I
root for
mean,
Patrick Mahomes?
I would like. I want the Eagles to win because I want them to create the rivalry, but I also would like to see a three-peat.
I like to
'Cause
see
I don't know.
Mahomes win because then it pisses off Kevin Shea, so that makes me happy. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I think I'm going. I think
You're going for the Chiefs, bro. You already said
yeah,
it. You're going for the
I
three-peat.
rather have had the Bills and the Commanders, but what are you
Okay,
gonna
so
do?
I mean, but man, that's gonna be hard for Jalen Hurts if he makes it back to the Super Bowl twice and a second time, 2 times in 3 years and you lose. People start looking at you funny. But I
Well, look at the
mean,
Niners. They, same thing. They lost twice now to the
yeah, but come
Chiefs.
on, one year their roster was completely depleted in the previous game. Come on, man. Injuries played a role for sure,
They
right?
always play a role.
Yeah. So, okay. So if I got to pick one, I guess I'm trying to figure out which one do I want more of. Do I want the three-peat or do I want the rivalry?
The rivalry ain't happening, Reg. It's not gonna like they're gonna be able to make the Super Bowl the fall. You know what I mean? Like there's a whole
I
lot
mean,
more
but
going on.
okay. It'd be nice if he could get a W against Pat Mahomes, but let's go with the three-peat.
Ooh, Reggie going for history.
Yeah, and you know me, I like to go for dominance. I'm like, if you can put your foot on the neck of history and hold it there and just keep making history, creating history, then I say go for the gusto, right? Like in a fight, I'm like who's 30-0 in a boxing match. I want to see him win 31,
I mean, that'd
right?
be crazy if he wins 4 out of 5 Super Bowls he's been to. 4 Super Bowls. I mean,
I,
no one's even won four. Like
dude, this is his
Brady's
fifth.
got 7, and that's it. No,
This
well, this would be his fifth Super Bowl, but his
yes.
chance to win a fourth. Yeah.
Yes. If he okay, so that's what I want. I want the three-peat and I want him to win 4 or 5. And then I want him to go back and win 5 or 6.
He's win
And
them
then I want
all.
him to see 6 or 7. And then I want to see him win 7 of 8.
No, I want to see
And
someone
then
else. I want to see
nah.
Shador Sanders and the Cleveland Browns win one next year.
You think
That's
that's where he's going? You think they're
that's
gonna pick
that's
him?
I think I'm hoping. I'm thinking we got to get a quarterback, and there's only 2 good quarterbacks. It looks like and the Titans are going to take Cam Ward with the number 1 pick, which leaves Dion's kid. And I think we might. I don't know. We'll see.
Hmm. Okay.
They just hired a quarterbacks coach who used to work out with Dion back with the Niners. So
Okay. All right.
there's
Well, hey, look,
connections.
I would love to see it, man. Having seen Deion Sanders play and seeing how phenomenal he was and his ability to shut down half of a field, right, whatever side he was on, and then to see his kid come up and get to the level that he's at now and make it into the league, I would love to see Shador be successful in the NFL. It would just be a testament to Deion's DNA.
Well,
It's
yeah, it's got to
like,
be some powerful DNA to make the Browns win. So we'll see.
let's see. So, all right. Well, let's wrap it up because I got to get going.
All right. So yeah, that's it, Reggie. So take us out, will you?
Okay. Uh, Today's episode was a pretty short one, so I hope you enjoyed it. It was full of energy. We started off with the Orange Man and his nonsense. We dropped some jewels up top though, for real. So listen. But if you enjoyed today's episode, please, the best thing you can do for us is you can like, share, and subscribe, and please comment. We'd appreciate it.
I
With
got
that being
hustle, no
said,
ambition, flow inside my DNA. I was born like this, it's born like this, immaculate conception.
I love that album, dude. I love that
Good
album.
album.
That song DNA is a joint. But and that shout out to Dion and Shador.
Oh yeah, Kendrick. We're gonna see Kendrick and SZA and Tyler, the creator.
Oh,
Looks
that's
like
right. At
he's gonna be
halftime.
making an appearance at halftime.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Okay. Looking forward to halftime at the Super Bowl. So with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. That's Sal Kalani I'm Reggie Steele, and this is Spitballin'. Peace.